Good evening and welcome to the Bluegrass XFINITY series as we're at Martinsville for a 200 lap affair here tonight with, let's see here, 14 cars signed up in the pit area, go 200 laps. And you know, last night truck series was pretty interesting, a lot of thrills, a lot of spills. Gotta wonder if it's going to be anything like that here tonight. Going down in the point stands coming in tonight will be Scott Fritz, your points leader, with 2 wins on the season, 5 top 5s and 10 top 10s. James Silver second in the point standings with 4 wins on the season, 3 poles, 8 top 5s and 12 top 10s. Keith Hackney third in the points, 3 wins, 3 poles, 8 top 5s and 9 top 10s. Radburn Shutters comes in 4th in the point standings, 1 win on the season with 10 top 5s and 13 top 10s. 5th in the point standings be Adam Lancaster with 2 wins on the season, 7 top 5s, 14 top 10s. Alex Penn 6th in the points with 1 win on the season, 1 pole, 1 top 5 and 5 top 5s and 7 top 10s. Michael Robinson sitting 7th in the point standings with 1 win on the season, 3 top 5s and 8 top 10s. And then Kyle Mays is your 8th driver in your round of 8 with 1 pole on the season and 3 top 5s and 7 top 10s. 200 laps, stage break at lap number 80. And let's go get ready for your starting grid. Well, let's see. There it goes. Playing little tricks on me. Starting on the pole tonight be Radburn Shutters and Adam Lancaster. To his outside. Row number 2 to the inside be Matt Grenier and Scott Fritz. Row number 3 be James Silvers and Alex Penn. Row number 4 be Michael Robinson and Justin Ray. Row number 5 be Sean Kostritza and Kyle Mays. Row number 6 be Brian Terry and Keith Hatton. And row number 7, Jeremiah Hobbs. So actually 13 drivers assigned in tonight's race. .200 laps the distance for the 13 drivers. As they're waiting for Michael Robinson to grid up. So after tonight's race, we'll finalize the top 4 in the point standings who move on to the final race next week at Phoenix. Next week, you want to bring your pillows and everything else because it's going to be a long night as they go full length. $80 blankets. Lights go out to flag stand. We'll unleash next time by at the flag stand. Adam Lancaster, Radburn Shutters. Base car pulls in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the stars and cars of the Bluegrass XFINITY series. As green flag is out, we're racing here on a Tuesday night. Good start there for the 17 of Adam Lancaster as they head into turn number 1. They're side by side. Lancaster with the momentum off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3, they're still side by side. Radbird Shutter's going to inch ahead. He will lead lap number 1 at the line. That's the first two actually start pull away from Scott Fritz and Matt Grenier. There's Scott Fritz there in the 0-1 and Matt Grenier. The 30 of Alex Penn stuck there on the high side as they exit turn number 2 down the back straightaway. As he's side by side with James Silvers into turn number 3. Silvers with the momentum on the inside. He'll take over the position, and the 30 of Alex Penn will fall in line now. Michael Robinson at 18. Penn, he must really like that middle groove there because he enters a little awkward compared to everybody else as they come out 2 down the back straightaway. 2 laps are in the books, coming to 3 laps in the books now. Radbird Shutters is definitely pulled away from the 17 of Adam Lancaster. There is Scott Fritz right in his hip pocket as they come out turn number 2 down the back straightaway for the 4th circuit. And they head into turn number 3. Matt Grenier under attack now from the 33 of James Silvers. Silvers looks to the inside of him. At the line, give it to Matt Grenier. They're still side by side as they head into turn number 1. Silvers going to get the momentum off of turn number 2, the run off the bottom there. But here comes the 15 battling back as they head into turn number 3. He goes a little wide. That's going to allow Silvers to clear him off of turn number 4. So does Alex Penn. So Matt Grenier falls back to that 6th spot. Michael Robinson in 7th. Justin Ray and Sean Kostritza. And Keith Hackney round out your top 10 here at Martinsville. Oh, the 17 goes wide. That's Adam Lancaster. Allows Scott Fritz to go by him. And now he has the 33 stalking him as they go into turn number 1. Oh, he gets loose, hits the strips. And around goes Adam Lancaster for the first caution of the night. Ooh, close call there by Sean Kostritza. And just take a look. There's the 33. It's a little bit out of shape, a little beating and banging there. No harm, no foul, but there goes the round, the 17. Kyle Mays, Brian Terry, and Adam Lancaster all down pit road. So your top 5 looking like this. Radbird Shutter, Scott Fritz, James Silvers, Alex Penn, and Matt Grenier round out your top 5. James Silvers now coming down pit road. See if he has any damage. If he does, get it repaired. So move Alex Penn to 3rd. Matt Grenier and Michael Robinson rounds out your top 5 now. Caution came out for Adam Lancaster taking a spin in the middle of 1 and 2 after James Silvers makes a little bit of contact with him. As they're on the 11th circuit here at Martinsville. Lap number 80. is the stage break. So right now coming, we'll have 69 laps to go. Lights are out, they're doubled up. We'll go back to green flag racing. Pace car makes its way into pit lane. Builds in the hands of Radbird Shutters. As they come off of turn number 4, head to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. We're back to racing. Shutters back to the race lead as they head in turn number 1. Fritz will fall in line there. Matt Grenier battling on outside of Alex Penn off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Matt Grenier does clear Alex Penn. Justin Ray try to follow pursuit. Along with the 18 of Michael Robinson to his inside. Then right behind him is Keith Hackney and Sean Kostritza. Side by side as they head into turn number 1 there. Ray just won't give up on the outside line. Try to make everything work. He goes up, pinned down. Oh, pushes wide. Hackney goes to the inside. 18, he clears them. Now Hackney up to 6. Sean Kostritza now looks to the inside of Ray. He takes over that 7th spot. Ray falls back to 8th. Now another caution. Take a look at your instant replay. The 19 of Jeremiah Hobbs there. Hits the outside wall. The 55 gets into him. He's going to park it sideways and around it goes. As we're on the 16th circuit of this 200 lap affair. Caution number 2. This time down pit roads, Michael Robinson, Jeremiah Hobbs, Brian Terry, and Kyle Mays. Kyle Mays was sitting in the 8th spot in points. Right now, not looking too pretty for him to make it into the final 4. Lights stay on the pace vehicle. Give them another lap. Kyle Mays rejoins the field, but Jeremiah Hobbs still down pit road along with Brian Terry. As the field comes out of turn number 4. Lights do go out. Next time by, it'll be 60 laps to go till stage break. Pace car down pit road. Coming to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. Good start for the number 6 of Ratbird Shutters. Alex P2 as he goes to the inside of Matt Grenier as they head into turn number 1. Grenier on the bottom, going to try to clear the 15. He does momentarily, but here goes Matt Grenier battling back as they head into turn number 3. Grenier goes a little wide. That's going to allow Penn to clear him this time. Scott Frisk down to the inside of Keith Hatton. This is a battle for 4th and 5th on the racing surface. Hackney on the outside. Fritz right there to his door panel as they exit turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Hackney will go wide. It's going to allow Fritz to try to clear him. He does it because at the line, Hackney's right back to it. Still side-by-side racing for 4th through 10th. There's Justin Ray still hanging out on outside. 17 of James Silvers looks to the inside. Scott Fritz finally clears the 69 of Keith Hackney. Meanwhile, Ratburn Shutters is slowly pulling away from Alex Penn, who has won to win on the season. As they head out turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Ray still hanging out there, playing peekaboo on that outside line. "25 laps in the books." Shutters heads into turn number 3. Right about 4-car length distance over Alex Penn. There's Matt Grenier. Then Keith Hackney a little further back. Guy has gotten around Scott Fritz. Silver's there in the 6th spot to get Lancaster, Kostritza, Ray, and Robinson rounding out your top 10 here as the drivers are pretty much single filed out. They're just going to be riding around, waiting for someone to make a mistake. A little too early to use that chrome horn. You see the gap between 1st and 2nd there. Matt Grenier having a good run in that 3rd spot right now. Keith Hackney is 69, up 8 spots to the start of the race. Scott Fritz has dropped back a spot, so has James Silvers. Adam Lancaster, who was involved in the wreck earlier, has lost 5 spots after going to the tailback, making his way back up to that 7th spot. "30 laps down the books, 50 to go." As they head down the back straightaway. Two cautions plagued the race so far tonight. For the 17 and the 19 of Jeremiah Hobbs. As they head into turn number 3, Alex Penn actually starting to close the gap on your race leader, Ratbird Shutters. As 33 laps are now in the books. Coming out turn number 4, down the front straightaway. little close it up. The Alex Penn has lost a little bit of ground again. Once again, to the race leader, Radbird Shutters, who has led so far 34 laps. Oh, Scott Fritz going around in the middle of 3 or 4. Take a look at your instant replay. This looks like it's in there a little too hot. Gets the rear end going around. Locks them up there. Third caution of the night. Brian Terry comes to a screeching halt there. So your top 5 look like this. Radbird Shutters, Alex Penn, Matt Grenier, Keith Hackney, James Silvers. Your third caution of the night. Pit stops for Scott Fritz, Brian Terry, Jeremiah Hobbs, Adam Lancaster. Some of those guys get some repairs done from earlier in the incidents. If you're a NASCAR fan of Alex Bowman, he will start the C-Main High Limits race on the inside of the 4th row. I hate to admit it, kind of looking forward to watching the races on a weeknight in the upcoming weeks. They always have some fantastic races going on Flow Racing. As tonight, we'll figure out who the top 4 is going into the championship. The field will double it up. We'll go back to green flag racing with 40 laps to go until stage break. Pace car pulled off going down pit road. The field's in the hands of number 6 of Radbird Shutters. Coming out, turn number 4, heading to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Shutters waited to the last moment to fire off. It was a drag race. Oh, Nelly Alex Penn. He saves it. He got a little bump in the rump. He started going sideways. But that allows Keith Hackney to look to the inside of him. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Second place now going to Keith Hackney as Alex Penn drops back to 3rd. Matt Grenier that 4th spot. Then you got the 33 Silvers and Shaka Stritzel. They're battling for 6th and 7th. Silver's going to take it as Stritzel will fall in line. Michael Robinson is 7th. Justin Ray and Adam Lancaster to his outside. Ray got a little loose. That allows Lancaster to close up the gap. He's going to go wide in turn number 1. He will clear Justin Ray off of turn number 2. Meanwhile, the 6 machine is pulled away from the field of Radbird Shutters. Keith Hackney up to 10 spots. as they head into turn number 3. Michael Robinson came off a little wide there. And now you have the 0-1 battling with the 19 of Jeremiah Hobbs. Scott Fritz looks to have it off of turn number 2. As Fritz has some damage on the right side of the hood there. Little wrinkle. No harm. Is that going to do it to this short track? 18 looked like he was off pace a little bit. That was Michael Robinson. As they come out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, Justin Ray battling with Jeremiah Hobbs. Hobbs looks to clear him as they head into turn number 3. He goes a little wide, go allow Ray to get back up to him. Meanwhile, up front, the 69 is actually pulling away from Alex Penn as they come off turn number 2, down the back straightaway. $15 of Matt Grenier running that 4th spot. James Silver's right there behind him. Into function junction number 33. Off into turn number 3 as you look as your race leader. Sizable lead over Keith Hackney, but Hackney is looking to close that gap a little bit. Alex Penn is losing some ground. Matt Grenier sitting right there in that 4th position with James Silvers rounds out your top 5. Coming to 30 laps to go, this time at the line. Silvers looks to the inside, going to turn number 3. Forces the 15 a little wide. Also the 17 of Lancaster coming. Give it to Lancaster for the 5th spot as Grenier lost 2 spots there in that transaction in the middle of 3 and 4. Now you got a battle with Fritz and Kostritza. Kostritza goes wide. Off of turn number 2, give it to Scott Fritz. Lancaster gets around the 33 of James Silvers. That's the 4th spot there. As Silvers falls back to 5th.
Keith Hackney in that 2nd spot there, but there you see again, Scott Fritz. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Alex.
I was waiting for you to just give me enough space that I could just fill in. Steve, it's just like short track racing, you know? You just find that little spot and you just got to shoot for it.
Definitely. 3 cautions have plagued the race so far in the Bluegrass XFINITY series as Redburn Shutters continues to lead with Keith Hackney, Alex Penn, Adam Lancaster, James Silvers rounds out your top 5.
So Hackney, Steve, I see he started further in the back of tonight's field, actually started 12th, and he's up 10 spots into that 2nd spot. So very good run for that 69 here in just a matter of, what, 54 laps completed?
Definitely, that is right. You know, this, if you're a Ricky Stenhouse Jr. fan, he's up to 4th in the C-Main of the High Limits race. So Ricky Stenhouse looking to make his way into the at least the B-Main, Alex.
Yes, Steve, I don't know if they're having provisionals or not for some, because there's some guys here that are full-time guys with them that might not make the feature event here. The only good thing you got to think for some of these guys here tonight, you know, Steve, I didn't do my research. You're going to yell at me. I didn't look who's in the Elite 8 going into the Final 4 here.
Well, they all have Yeller on their spoiler. So Radburn Shutters, Keith Hackney, Lancaster, Alex Penn, James Silvers, Michael. So here's your top 8 in point standings. Scott Fritz leads the way. James Silvers, Keith Hackney, Radburn Shutters, Adam Lancaster, Alex Penn, Michael Robinson, and Kyle Bays are your top 8. As they are dice and try to make it into the Final 4 next week. Scott Fritz already in there.
Yes, Steve. So this is going to come down to the nitty gritty again. You got to think, like we said last week, some of these guys you do not want to try and race your way in here at Martinsville. You know, some guys will love it. Some guys might hate this. Also, Steve, talk about a first here. It's only a C main, but I'm pretty sure McKenna Hassey has now set history because she's the first girl to win anything, I think, in high limit history because it's the first year. So McKenna Hassey in the second week of the season for them, setting history, being the first woman to, even though it's a C main, win something against a lot of competition.
Definitely. I mean, she has Ricky Stenhouse Jeter in there. So she had a couple NASCAR drivers in that C main.
Oh, Steve, don't forget my favorite name on that C main. Paulie Cola Giovanni.
That's right.
One of the greatest sprint car names ever. I really hope I don't have to say that multiple times on a broadcast because that'd be a mouthful, Steve.
Definitely. As you look at Keith Hackney, he's actually starting to drop off now. As we're lap number 63, look at the 17 now, makes a move for second, give it to Adam Lancaster. He started his second, was involved in a spin early on, had to go tail back. Has made his way back up that second place.
But Steve, I'll tell you what, Keith Hackney, remember a few weeks ago, Keith Hackney had the same issue of didn't save his equipment the best, and that's what, ended up costing him positions in the long run, and that's, why he's not a lock still for the Final Four. Right now, he's sitting in that third spot, but again, oh boy, when is it? I'm not even going to ask Steve. Here it's 80.
Yeah.
Am I right?
You're right. 15 laps to go at the line until the stage break.
I see highs. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Lisa. Steve, I'm feeling special.
You should. I never get a hello, so that's all right.
Steve, they say hi to you all the time.
Scroll through there, see if you say hi, Steven. I see hi, Mama. Hi, Lisa.
I think the good evening, everyone, I thought was referring to everyone, Steve.
Then you didn't need good evening, Alex, or hello, Alex.
Well, Steve, I wasn't here when that hello, everyone was.
Meanwhile, the 6 of Ratbird Shutters continues to lead. Lancaster in second, Hackney in third. You got James Silvers in the 33 and fourth. Scott Fritz in that 5th position. That's your top 5. Remember, the top 10 at the end of the stage will get valuable points to help them. And right now in that 10th position is Jeremiah Hobbs. Michael Robinson in the chase, currently sitting in that 9th position.
Yeah, so Steve, this could come down to, again, one of those, it's as simple as you win, you're in.
Right.
But Scott Fritz won last week, right?
Right.
So Scott Fritz is in. Or as far as I know, he is in. That would still put 3 spots to go. And, Steve, I'm impressed.
Uh-huh.
Did you look at that dash for tonight?
Oh, yeah. Blake
Chase
Holmes.
Randall and Buddy Kofoid in a field of, Brent Marks, Anthony Macri, Blake Hahn's in that field too.
Yes. In fact, the 9 of Chase Randall and Blake Hahn all used to race on the ASCS Sprint Car National Series at one time.
Steve, somebody might want to. I know the Cup guys know this very well. The one thing you don't want to do, and Anthony Macri does it a lot, is you don't want to see sparks coming from your brakes, and Anthony Macri's doing that a lot.
Definitely, as we're on lap number 72 for your race leader of Radbird Shutters. And look there's Adam Lancaster. He is closed in on a hurry. In at number 17 machine. Good evening, Charlene.
You feel better now, Steve?
I feel better. Off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. You know, Radburn, as soon as someone closes in on him, he starts to pull away.
Yes. I noticed, every time Radburn's up in the front, he does that. And I feel like, I don't know if he's playing games or if he's just saving tires, but then fires back up. But Steve McMillan, the Myerstown Missile wins the dash. Brett Marks, the porch sitters win at least something right now. Bobby Hall's not here tonight, so I can't say the porch sitters are going to win tonight here.
There you go. As we're in lap number 76, their top 2 right there at striking distance as they head into turn number 3. Back a little further in the field, you see Sean Kostritza there. Alex Penn right in front of him. Kostritza looks to the inside. Kostritza trying to make a move for that 7th position off of turn number 4 down the straightaway. At the line, give it to Alex Penn, but he rubs the outside wall and gives that spot to Sean Kostritza. So Kostritza to 7th. Scott Fritz running in that 5th spot there. All over that tail tank of the 33 Machinist. Caution out on the raceway for Justin Ray.
And Steve, you got to think, if you're these playoff drivers, as we look at the instant replay here, if you're the playoff drivers with only, say, 11 cars going to be on the lead lap there, as you see there goes, Ray just looped it. Steve, no help there for him. But now with Ray a lap down, so 11 cars on the lead lap here. If you're in those 8 cars in the playoffs right now looking to lock in, you need to just be up as far as you can inside this top 10. You hope to be in the top 5 to get as many playoff points as possible here to try. If you make a mistake, as you see pit stops here, Steve.
Well,
so
they're going to use that stage break. So Radbird Shutters credited with the win. Lancaster, Hackney, Silvers, Fritz, Grenier, Kostritza, Pitt, and Robertson Hobbs round out your top 10 in the stage.
Well, that works. That works.
Yes, as 6 has that first pit stall.
So again, everyone's going to take tires here. Brian Brown in a B main. Is that what did I just read that right?
Well, he's in something.
He's in something. I don't know. I think Flo made a mistake and didn't bring up the right lineup because they have the dash lineup again. Oh, boy. Steve, how was your day? How was everyone's day?
Well, it was blah. This is day number 2, not smoking.
That's good.
Well, yeah. I had to talk myself out of it. I was like, I could stop at a gas station and get a pack of cigarettes. And on my way to work, and then I somehow did talk my way out of it. Don't know how I did it, but I did it.
Well, that's fine, Steve. I was getting ready to walk out the door of work. They look at, and there's only 3 of them left after I clock out. Getting ready to walk out the door. Someone orders more food. Oh. Guy who cooks our food usually, he was doing dishes. Oh my God. Guess I'll make the food. Well, then that delayed my departure, and then, then 3 more cars show up, and I'm like, I just want to go home.
Sell them hot dogs.
I know I threw them hamburgers.
Well, Brian Brown, Ash, and Jennington on the front row of the B main.
Ayrton Jennington.
Ayrton. I like that name.
Guess who else is in this B main?
Casey Kane.
Paulie Colagiovanni.
Mm-hmm. Casey Kane's in the B main. And let's see here.
I think Casey Kane's one of the only outlaws to be there tonight.
That's true.
Him and Brock Zierfalls are the only 2 platinum members to you. But now think, those 2 were not at the opening race.
That's true. Well, Robert Shutters led him off of pit road along with Adam Lancaster, James Silvers, Keith Hackney, Scott Fritz, Matt Grenier, Sean Kostritza, Alex Penn, and Michael Robinson. Alex, lights are out. We're going back to green flag racing off of turn number 4. It'll be your favorite time of the night.
Here they go into turn number 3, into turn number 4. it will come to the Geico restart zone, and we are back underway here. Green flag is out for Radburn Shutters.
Well, a little bumping going on as the 17 spun his tires on the start there. He's going to lose ground. James Silver takes over that second spot. Here comes the 17 battling back on the outside. Who saw this? Hackney going around. Synchronized spins. Pent and Hackney. And Alex, can you take this real quick? I gotta take this.
Oh, of course, Steve. So Hackney goes around, Penn goes around. Tough break for two guys that are in playoff contention. So those two cars go around. So Shutters going to restart on the front row for this one. Silvers, Lancaster, Fritz, Grenier, Kostritza, Robinson, Hobbs, Penn, Hackney, Ray, Terry. He's a lap down. Ray's a lap down. Mays is out. Collins is in the pace truck. So, very quick caution there. So, we're going to get back to work here soon. His lights should go out very shortly. So lights are still on. And I wonder. Let's see. Can we get him quick? Mr. Collins, I got one question for you.
What's that, buddy?
After that stage break, stage points, did anyone guarantee themselves a spot in the Final Four?
Let's take a look. I am not 100% that anyone is guaranteed at this point, but we will certainly take a look. So Radburn won the stage, so we know he got 10 points. Lancaster pulled up 9, and Lancaster was 10 points behind Radburn. So he lost another point. So he's now 11 points behind Radburn. Radburn gained on Hackney by 3. So him and Hackney are... He's 1 point behind Hackney now. Hackney got has 88, and Radburn has 87. Silvers lost 10 points due to the caution in the first 10 laps. So he dropped from 3,090 to 3,080, but he also finished P5 in the stage?
I think something like that.
P4. So he is 7, so that's 87. He's actually tied with Hackney right now. So Lancaster would have to ahead of... It's still, nobody's still locked in at this point, basically. I mean, Lancaster can still potentially knock one of those 3 out if they end up finishing at the back. So,
thank you. This is why you get paid the big bucks. And Steve left me for a second, so I was like, let's find out points.
I just want to say that, oddly enough, it was some really good timing for Radburn there with that caution with his teammate right before the stage, because I know they had to be getting tight on fuel. Just oddly enough, I'm just going to let y'all make up your minds on that one.
Yeah, Steve. Jason, I can't. Pit windows and pit strategies, it's a lot easier at like Phoenix and them because I can gauge, but it's like when they only need fuel at the stage break, it's kind of hard to gauge.
Oh, 100%. I think they can go like 80 laps on fuel tonight, so they will have to make another stop. More than likely. We have 109 laps remaining in the race, and probably going to see another stop. Whether or not it's green flag, I don't know. Oh, I just saw Hackney and Penn make contact. Luckily, Alex saw it happening behind him and was able to go right and get around back. Not go around, not get wrecked. I think Hackney's tires are a little hot right now from where he just got spun by Kostritza. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting race. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to beat Radburn. He's looking bad fast tonight.
And you can confirm that the fourth place car, that 01 of Fritz, it's his birthday today, right?
Yeah, it's his birthday. I found out while I was actually sending him a message a minute ago on Snapchat. Just something so he could look at after the race, and he had the little birthday cake on his profile, and I was like, well, he didn't even bother to tell me it was his birthday today. So we want to say a big happy birthday to our old OG Scott Fritz. He's been a veteran of the league since season 1. We love the guy. He's helped us out tremendously. Helped us with the dirt side of things, and he's our resident dirt racer. You know, him and Hackney, those guys are phenomenal dirt track drivers. So happy birthday to him.
Speaking of dirt track, I don't know how much you are on sprint cars, but sprint cars have a tail tank, and when you wreck, you're not supposed to land on your tail tank because that is just, slightly dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you're the age of the Madsons. Both of them, Gary and Ian, both aren't as young as they used to be. So I don't know which one this is. I think it's Ian, but you're not supposed to flip on the first few laps of a B main.
Oh, somebody flipped already in the high limit race?
This is not the first one. Alex Bowman actually flipped earlier tonight.
I heard that, yep.
That was
I heard
nasty.
about that one.
Look, Kyle Larson takes a bad wreck on Sunday, and now Alex Bowman takes a bad dirt track wreck. Oh, Mr. Hendrick. You know Hendrick's having a heart attack right now.
Uh-huh. He's not loving it at all.
And then you have Stenhouse here as well. Oh, boy. You know NASCAR's having a heart attack with this whole thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we're halfway. We're halfway now.
Almost. I think we will be this time by. We'll be halfway.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yes. Now we'll be halfway. But again,
I tell you what, this battle right here between Lancaster, Silvers, and Fritz is getting spicy. It's really heating up. Hackney needs to be up. He needs to... Okay, let's just say Adam wins the race. It's just a scenario because it's a possibility. He's quick enough he could potentially beat Radburn. So if Adam wins the race, that knocks Radburn's the bubble man, but he's tied with James Silvers, tied with Silvers at the moment for the spot because Hackney gained enough during the stage to maintain the second overall position, right? Because Fritz is already locked in. So the race is between Silvers, Lancaster, and Hackney. All right. Lancaster's really needs a win to secure the spot next week to lock himself in. He's at, let's see, what does that put him at? 76. So he's still 11 points behind Radburn. He's still got to win the race essentially at this point, at this juncture, to make it in.
Jesus.
Barring, obviously, if something bad were to happen to one of those other three, like Hackney or Silvers or Radburn, that would obviously help Lancaster a tremendous amount. He would, move up if something. So hopefully, we don't want to see anything bad happen to any of our drivers. But I would like to say that, I'd like to see Lancaster have a shot next week at Phoenix if he's able to do so. Him and Scott have been with me since season 1. They're OG drivers, and you always kind of pull for those guys a little bit. So we'll see how things end up turning out. But Hackney was, I know he was talking earlier. He was saying he was struggling with the car coming rotating in the center a little bit. Hoping that he's that damage didn't hurt him too much. I think he said he had around 10 seconds of damage.
Thank you for speaking, because my heart just stopped for a second.
Yeah, no problem, man.
That wreck by Madsen was not pretty. The man went from mid front stretch flipping down into turn 1.
This is a really good race, man, honestly, especially like for this second, third, and fourth place right now between Lancaster, James, and then you got Matt, who's coming into the picture now. Fritz looking underneath Silvers a little bit there, peeking under him mid-corner. Looked like he might be able to potentially get up under him, but chose wisely to go ahead and back it off. Looks like Fritz has fastest lap time again. He seems to be getting through the corners better than Silvers does right now. Silvers seems to have a little bit tighter, more narrow entry, and that's hurting his exit, where Fritz is taking a wider entry and is able to kind of get off the corners a little bit better. Yeah, you can see Silvers is getting really tight right now. Let me see. Where are we at? Looks like we're still on Crank It Up cam or something. Well, I don't know if the people were able to see, but it's definitely getting tight. He's definitely getting tight coming through the center, which is allowing Lancaster to pull away right now and allowing Fritz to kind of get in the underneath him. Fritz actually went a little bit wide in the corner that time. Looks like gave up a little bit of time to Silvers. Not much. Still was faster on the lap. Lancaster had the fastest lap that time by about 10th and a half faster than our race leader Radburn Shutters. And let's see where old Hackney's sitting at right now. He's sitting in the P6. I think he's just biding his time. He's just trying to make it through. I think he's on that. He knows it's a long race. He and I were talking, and he understands he's got a long ways to go still, so he's not trying to rush anything in particular.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, is that Steve? Is Steve back?
I am.
Oh, boy.
Sounds like you're really far away from your microphone for me. I don't know how it sounds to everybody else though. So
Yeah, it sounds like Steve's in the far, far distance.
it does. It sounds like he's talking into a webcam maybe or something, but it could just be on my end in the Discord. I don't know how it sounds on the broadcast. So let me listen to the broadcast for a minute, Steve, if you want to go ahead and talk.
Coming to the live Radbird Shutters.
Oh, there we go.
That sounds much better.
I'm awake. Let me turn Steve down.
Radbird Shutters leading the way, Lancaster, and you got Silvers, Fritz, and Grenier, your top 5 here, as we're on lap number 117, coming up and closing that lap down out of turn number 4. As you see, Shutters has been dominant this race. And how about Lancaster going to the rear and making his way back up to second before the stage break, and now still running that second spot with Silvers right there in third. You know, Alex, I'm going to teach you something. When the sister-in-law calls, you answer the phone. Because if you don't answer the phone, she calls you 10 times back to back to back to back until you do.
Yeah?
So you learn to answer the phone. That's what she just did. Meanwhile, look at the sizable lead between first and second there as the 17 of Adam Lancaster falls back a tad bit. There's the 33 James Silvers. How about Scott Fritz there in that 0 wad, currently in that 4th spot. A little further back, you have the 5 of Matt Grenier and Keith Hackney in that 6th position, all over that tail tank of the 15 machine. Then a little further back is Alex Penn and Sean Kostritza. They enter turn number 3, coming out of turn number 4. Laps are winding out down, Alex. 80 laps to go.
Sorry, Steve. I'm still trying to regroup. Everything went chaotic when you were gone. But Jason held it all together because Ian Madsen decided to flip some more. So again, Jason, if if you're a car owner, they are not liking this right now.
Well, I can tell you this, Adam Lancaster, the gap a couple laps ago was sizable between him and Shutters, as now second and third has closed the gap, and they're approaching on the back end as caution out on the raceway for Brian Terry. Brian Terry spinning out in turn number 4.
Did he hit the rumbles? No, he went in. So, Steve,
He wrecks in front of the leaders, looks like, and
he tried to. I think he tried to just.
Yeah, he just lost it on entry.
Turn right to go left.
Well, pit stops are coming now as Shutters down pit road brings a slew of cars. Looks like it's going to be everybody on the lead lap coming down pit road. Justin Ray, the last driver on the lead lap, in that 10th position.
So, Jason, this should do it then. If you said about 80 laps, if they pit now,
This should do it. They should be able to make it from here on out on fuel. Yes, 100%.
But then tires come into play.
Well, yeah, you're going to see. It's going to be
pit stops. So it got interesting there
for just a second. Looked like it, didn't it?
I think both cars were going at the same time, and that's why they always try and tell them that they need to give a little bit of room in pit stalls, because if not, it could end as the race off pit road that was basically side by side action going off pit road there.
Well, it's going to be Shutters, Lancaster, Fritz, Silvers. He might caught a speeding penalty as he's going to be dropping to the back.
Looks like it. Looks like he was hit with something there. He's getting a slow penalty, drop back penalty, whatever. So you guys are aware last night we had the incident with Jonah Colbert on the initial start of the race, right? He spun the tires, took off, spun the tires, and then kind of got loose, and the guy behind him had nowhere to go, kind of hit him, blah, blah, etc., right? So that's the first 10 caution. So that unfortunately puts Jonah under probation going into the championship race. So he won't be able to qualify next week at Phoenix. I believe I told him he can appeal the decision to the board, so we'll see what he ends up doing on that. But that's just a little bit of tidbit of news. And then tonight, James Silvers, same thing, caused the caution in the first 10 laps. He's lost 10 points, so that hurts him tonight. It puts him back down even with Hackney at the start of the race. And now with him getting dropped to the back, it's going to hurt him a little bit more at this point. So it's really anybody's ball game on who can get in. Lancaster is looking for that win to get in. Probably what's going to have to save him, because he's still about, what did I say earlier, Alex? 11 points behind.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, lights go out. We're going to double them back up. We're going to rack them, stack them, and Alex gets to call his favorite time of night. Probably the only time not that he actually pays attention to the race. Jason?
Sorry.
Through that.
Sorry.
He's too busy watching that high limit.
Danny Dietrich almost made the feature. Leave me alone.
No.
Port sitters are trying to make the features. But, well, I'm also waiting for, we'll get back to that. I'll tell you what I'm waiting for on this one. Here's the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back out, and I'm waiting to see if anyone tries to push the button like Cody Verrill did last night. Jason, you remember I was talking to you after the race about that one, about are we really surprised that we knew it was coming from someone. We didn't know when it was coming or where it was coming, but we kind of knew that situation was going to come where you got caught on the outside, you tried to shut the door on them, and you just ended up getting up in the wall and spinning. And lucky enough, it didn't involve more than one car. And I'm kind of waiting for that incident to happen again, especially with all 8 cars running very close to the front.
Well, right now you're looking at the battle on the screen between Keith Hackney and the 15. Oh, Nelly, he got a little tail happy there. He had to back out of it. That also allows Alex Penn to look underneath him. Penn to that 5th spot. Hackney loses 2 for the price of 1 as he falls back to 6. Michael Robinson sitting in that 7th spot. Sean Kostritza in 8th. 9th is James Silvers and Justin Ray round out your top 10. Meanwhile, the 6 machine of Radburn Shutters pulling away from the 17 of Lancaster. Scott Fritz in that 3rd spot there to 0-1. The Majula C Speed Shop 0-1. Alex Penn, now you look at 6-9 of Hackney, looks to the inside of Matt Grenier. Oh, Penn goes wide, and he's going to lose several spots coming down the front straightaway. So now Hackney up to that 4th spot, up 8 spots now. As 18 of Michael Robinson looks to the inside of Matt Grenier. And right behind the 18 of Michael Robinson is Sean Kostritza, James Silvers, and Alex Penn battling side by side. Give it to Silvers as Penn has dropped back to 9th now. Justin Ray in that 10th spot. So right now, mid-pack is getting pretty interesting.
Very interesting indeed. And again, Jason left. Darn it, that's why he didn't answer me, Steve. I was waiting for him to answer me when I said that comment, and he never answered.
He didn't. Radburn Shutters on a Sunday drive here on a Tuesday night. Adam Lancaster, that car has been through some beating and banging here tonight, along with that 0-1. Both those were involved in cautions, both those drivers. There's Keith Hackney in 4th. Matt Grenier rounds out your top 5. Michael Robinson right there. Sean Kostritza in 7th. James Silvers at 8th. Penn at 9th. Ray in 10th. Jeremiah Holmes up to 11th. You got Brian Terry and Kyle Mays. Meanwhile, coming out of turn number 4, we're coming to complete lap number 137 as we're on lap number 138.
Darn it, Steve. The dice roll didn't end well. I was upset.
We're going to have to turn off your TV screen.
Listen here. Dice roll, I really want to see it in NASCAR to happen now. Imagine that, Steve. If you set quick time, you roll, it's a random dice. You roll it. Wherever you roll it, you start from, but they add money onto whatever positions you gain.
But you don't have to take it.
But you don't have to take it. But think about that for NASCAR, especially for the guys that, none of the guys own the stuff. I feel like half those drivers would take it just for the heck of it and see if they can make some money out of it.
Definitely, as we're coming to 60 laps to go.
I think we need to tell Jason to incorporate that next year. Mm-hmm. I think that would be fun.
Well, I've done the randomizer, the pill draw. That was pretty fun. Meanwhile, 60 laps to go for Radburn Shutters. Adam Lancaster right there in the 17 machine, currently in that 2nd spot. Scott Fritz in that 3rd position. Then got Keith Hackney and Matt Grenier. Still rounds out your top 5 here tonight. Michael Robinson sitting in that 6th spot with James Silvers there. Alex Penn has gotten back around Sean Kostritza. Kostritza has fallen back to 9th as he has Ray right there in his hip pocket.
So, Steve, I don't know. I'm trying to calculate. Steve, I'd say if there was a caution with like 20 laps to go, I'd say take tires at this point if you have them. There was a car going down pit road. Was that Brian Terry that went down pit road there?
Brian Terry coming down pit road. He's already a lap down. And thank you, Charlene.
With race leaders coming around, I think he'll go 2 laps down.
Or more.
I was about to say, I think he's still in pit stall here, so at least now another lap down for Brian Terry. There he sits. So now the question is, how many more laps down is he going to do, or is he done for the night?
Well, he's definitely out of it, unless something dramatic happens on the racing surface. But Radburn Shutters dominant here tonight at Martinsville. There is Adam Lancaster, Scott Fritz right there. Lancaster goes a little wide, allows Fritz to close in momentarily down the back straightaway. There's a nice sizable gap between third and fourth. Hackney in that fourth position. There's James Silvers currently running at 6th. Michael Robinson right behind him.
So Steve yet again. So let's see. Position number 1, 2, 3, 4 they're all playoff drivers. Is Matt Grenier a playoff driver, or was he eliminated last week?
Matt Grenier is not a playoff driver.
Silvers is.
Yes.
Robinson is, and Penn is.
Correct. Lancaster is, Shutters, Hackney, Silvers.
Yeah, I said so. Top 4 are, and the 5th one is not, and then 6th, 7th, and 8th is. So, Steve, if the top 4 end like this, there might be a good chance that top 4 would be your 4 going into next week.
Definitely.
Hypothetically, that's what I'm going to go with. I'm not, I'm not the math whiz. I don't know the points wise. I don't know how many points you get where position wise. Steve, that's why Jason gets paid the big bucks, and we just get paid to talk.
Definitely, as right now we're coming next time by, coming at the flag stand here, will be 50 laps to go for Radburn Shutters. There is the 17 of Lancaster and Scott Fritz.
So Fritz was last week's winner at where were we? Homestead of Miami Speedway.
Yep, locked him in to next week at Phoenix.
Well, no, Jason said that don't even lock him in. There is no driver that is a lock. Even after stage points. Yeah, you missed that one when you were on the phone. So I'll catch you up, Steve. After stage break, there's a caution on the racetrack now. But after stage break, there was still no driver locked into the final 4. So all 4 spots are hypothetically still up for grabs.
Oh. James Silver's bringing out that caution there. And turned around. So now drivers come down pit road for the final stop of the night to get some fuel and probably some valuable rubber. Keith Hackney pulling into the stall. You see Silver's pulled in. Matt Grenier. The 01 will be first off of pit road. Lancaster stayed out. This is Lancaster, Silvers, Shutters, Hackney, Grenier, Robertson, Penn, Sean Kostritza, Justin Reed, and Jeremiah Hobbs. All off of pit road in that order. As Adam Lancaster did stay out. He didn't make a stop.
So, Steve, when we go back to the green flag, we should have... Oh, let's see. 44 laps about to go. 40,
yep.
43, something like that.
Yep.
Steve, are you supposed to get rain this weekend?
It's been raining all week.
Never mind. I ain't flying down to you then. I was like, I need somewhere to go to call races this weekend.
Yep. Supposed to rain all week here in Arkansas.
And keep it there. Then at least I can work.
Well, the USAC, speaking of that, the USAC will be, I believe, tomorrow night at Texarkana 6-7 Raceway or 6-7 Texarkana, Arkansas, with the ASCS non-elite drivers. So get bored. We want to see some wingless action live on Flow Racing
with the legendary Chet Christner behind the mic.
Yes,
but
someone walking down with a $6,000 payday.
Ooh, Steve, I might have to tune into that one.
Yeah,
but sadly, we'll both be doing our own jobs. There we go, Geico. That was a really late start at the Geico restart zone, Steve. I was expecting them to go right when they hit the spa. Oh boy, I saw that coming from a mile away. Boy, oh boy.
Well, Scott Fritz really didn't get the start he wanted. But the control car was a 17. Fritz holds back a tad bit. Three wide situation. Mayhem happens into turn number 1.
Steve, I don't think people are having a fun night tonight.
Mayhem?
It's mayhem. Anywhere and everywhere you go, it's mayhem.
Well, you should have purchased auto insurance.
Well, yeah, because Steve, a 305 just flipped.
Well, the 3 lost his 5 when he went upside down.
Yes.
As we're still under caution for the spin for Keith Hackney. 40 laps to go right now. Poor little dog.
I'm going to say.
She sounded like me the other night. Maybe she needs to quit smoking.
Steve, I tell you what, I don't know about anyone else that lives near me, but or lives anywhere where it snows. I want snow next winter.
Okay.
Because with the dry winter we had and the warmer winter we had, yeah, allergies are not my friend this year. Calling a race on a Sunday night at Bridgeport, coming home, and then the allergies are like, well, you're not going to be able to speak for the next few days.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'm still going to do a broadcast the next few days.
Well, I decided to breathe for the next few days. That's what I did. And you know what's neat, Alex? So it means me trying to quit. BJ's quit smoking. Well, he had to quit.
No, gee.
He had to quit. So, you know, us two ever get back on the air together, me and BJ, we're going to have totally different voices.
Hang on, we're not going.
Oh, the 6 is going tailback. Radburn shutters.
Oh, boy.
They delayed the green flag.
Steve, I made a uh-oh.
Well, did you go change your drawers?
No, I just closed out. I don't know how I still heard you. I closed out of everything because I tried to close out that I had open for my timing and scoring because I had it on both computers.
Ah.
Closed out of Discord, but apparently when I exit out of Discord, I can still hear you.
Well,
the wonders of... Oh, it's my favorite time of the night.
It is. Pace car coming down pit road with under 30 laps to go, Alex.
Yes, can we not have a green white checkered back-to-back nights? That'd be great. Thank you. But here we go. Let's see when they go this time in the Geico restart zone. Oh, we started late again, Steve.
We did. A little bit of mind games going on between the front. Scott Fritz and Matt Grenier battling for second. Give it to Scott Fritz. Grenier falls back to third. James Silver's right there in that fourth position. As the 30 of Alex Penn looks to the inside of him as they come out turn number 4. Here comes Silver's battling back. And how about Sean Kostritza up to 6 now? In that number 46 machine. Looks to the outside going into turn number 1. Keith Hackney right there in the 69. Oh, Penn. People have to check up behind him, but look at Kostritza now to his door as they head into turn number 3.
Steve, keep an eye on that 69 machine because Keith Hackney is going to be one to watch out for a few laps because he's fighting. And he's going to have to fight for his life if he wants that championships race.
We saw Jeremiah Hobbs lock it up there in turns 1 to not get it to Keith Hackney. In a Toyota 19. Meanwhile, in front is Adam Lancaster. He was involved in the first caution. Went tailback after getting some repairs. Now leading the race. And how about Radburn Shutters in that 10th spot? So now you got to wonder, is this his chances? Is this hurting his chances? Is he up to 9th? Just got around Justin Ray.
So Ray, and remember, Steve, Justin Ray was one of those cars that got in. I think he got into the playoffs itself by the skin of it. It was basically by the skin of his teeth. That poor car had to pray to God because what he finished, I want to say like 7th or 8th at Daytona, but on top of that, another 305 flipped. But on top of that, Steve, remember, 3 cars that were racing up front at Daytona, if they won, it would have ruined Justin Ray's whole chance of making the playoffs.
Right.
So now Justin Ray right now, it's it's been a tough postseason since he got in, but, to say you got in to the playoffs with the competition that was on this field throughout the season is an accomplishment, to say the least. Brian Terry will tell you the same thing. To win against this competition is an accomplishment.
Definitely. As Adam Lancaster continues to lead as we're in lap number 173, 172 laps are in the books. As we have 27 laps to go at the line. Off of turn number 4. Lap number...
Wait, someone's not happy. I don't know if it's because Adam Lancaster's leading, or because Scott Fritz is not winning, or because Keith Hackney is in 6th. Who knows what the dogs... I think it has something to do with Sean Kostritza getting caught up in a lot of random incidents. I knew I'd get Steve to laugh. But 28 laps. I think 28.
26 to go.
See, Steve, it cuts it off and it looks like an 8 to me. Sorry.
Now 25 for Adam Lancaster as he heads into turn number 1. Fritz is right there in striking distance. Can he go for 2 wins back to back? As he tries to do that here tonight. As Matt Grenier having a good run in that 3rd position. James Silver's right there in his hip pocket as they come off of turn number 4. 24 laps to go now. The laps will start ticking down quickly here at Martinsville for the Bluegrass XFINITY Series.
Steve, for some of these guys, you got to think their chances at a championship are winding down.
Yes, they are. And you know what, Lisa? I don't know. You can have Alex. Have at it.
What am I saying? I don't know. Oh, that Sean Kostritza is getting caught up in stuff that Sean Kostritza shouldn't be caught up in because he's just an innocent bystander. Yeah, that stuff. See, there's a car on pit road again.
That's Jeremiah Hobbs in 19 down pit road. The 17 of Adam Lancaster is actually starting to pull away from the 0-1 of Scott Fritz as they come out turn number 4. 21 laps to go now. Next time by would be the ButtKicker, 20 to go.
See, Steve, they agree with me. That Sean Kostritza gets caught up in stuff that Sean Kostritza should not be getting caught up in.
20 to go. The ButtKicker 20 for Adam Lancaster.
But you also see Jeremy Vaughn. Jeremy Vaughn said that that Jason needs to come in here right now and tell us the points.
No, leave the man alone.
Steve, you act like that man's busy. There's no caution. You don't have to drive the car.
No, but he's got to be busy adding and subtracting.
You don't have to do that right now. There's no points for most laps led.
No. Well, as 18 to go now, laps are ticking down quickly. Your top 4 right there. Radburn Shutters has made his way back into that 5th position, trying to keep his championship hopes alive heading into Phoenix.
So, Steve, I don't know if there's a caution. Do they take tires? If they have tires, do they take tires?
No.
No.
Well, it depends. The second on back does, yeah, you should have took a tire so you're the leader.
Don't you love how that works?
Definitely. $15 laps to go, Alex.
Time is ticking. Especially if you are Keith Hackney, Alex Penn, Michael Robinson. The clock is ticking. Steve, can they get into the final 4? It's going to be close. They're going to have to make some passes.
Well, passes, some bumpers, you name it. Whatever they got to use it. As
the chrome horn.
As they go into turn number 3. Coming to 13 laps to go here.
It's time to mow down or go down.
Well, you pick.
Exactly. No, I don't pick. I'm not driving. They pick, not me. Jason's going to hurt me when he hears that because that's just painful for the admin booth.
The top 4 right there, and here comes Radburn Shutters slowly trying to close that gap with 12 laps to go here. Keith Hackney in that 6th spot, Sean Kostritza in 7th, Alex Penn in 8th, Justin Ray in 9th, Michael Robinson rounds out your top 10. Then you got Jeremiah Hobbs, Brian Terry, Kyle Mays rounds out your field as they come off turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Matt Grenier going for a pass on James Silvers. Grenier to the high side, Silvers down low, coming to the line, give it to Silvers.
Steve, I tell you what, those are the sketchy moments in life.
Yeah.
Those are definitely the most sketchiest moments because you never know what can happen.
Oh yeah, pretty interesting. Nine laps to go. Does anybody have anything for Adam Lancaster? That's correct. Lancaster did not pit. Oh yeah. You have enough fuel.
Yeah, because they pitted on. Let's see. They pitted on lap like 20-ish. Some of them pitted. The last time they pitted was 120 something.
Right.
Let's see here. Oh, no, they all pitted on lap 153, so they all have enough. Lancaster pitted on lap 124, so he has enough here, but if the God-given curse of green-white checker comes into play, I don't know if Stevie's going to cut it close.
Well, six laps to go for the 17. Here is the 01, the Fritz in the hip pocket. They come into turn number 3 here. Radburn Shutters is there, closed up on the back of Matt Grenier. Gotta have to wonder if he's going to use that bumper, get in the 4th position.
So, Steve, let the hard work begin here, because if you don't make a move, you're in trouble.
Definitely, that is for sure. Lancaster leads the way with 4 laps to go here. Their top 5 right there. Keith Hackney in that 6th spot, trying to close in. On the final laps here, coming to 3 to go this time.
And Hackney's going to have to at least try and get by Shutters here. If Hackney wants a chance, he might get in by the skin of his teeth here, but the best bet for Keith Hackney is he's going to have to try and get around that number 6 machine, or, knock on wood, there could be some dramas near the end here if somebody tries to force an issue more than they need to, and Steve at short track racing, tempers can be the best of people, and stupid decisions could be possible here. But with 2 to go, Steve, I don't think we'll have a green-white checker tonight. I think we're going to go right to the white flag here. Looks like we're going to go right to the end of this one, as white flag will wave here for Adam Lancaster. Steve, for Keith Hackney, for Alex Penn. They're going to have to push it here on this final lap if they want it. And look at, here comes Keith Hackney. Steve McMillan, he'll have one more corner. Can he get to Radburn Shutters?
Going into turn number 3 for the final time, the 17, Adam Lancaster. Leading way out turn number 4, Adam Lancaster will win here at Martinsville. With Scott Fritz's 2nd. James Silver's back. Grenier, Radburn Shutters rounds out your top 5. 6th will be Keith Hackney. Alex Penn, Sean Kostritza, Justin Ray, Michael Robinson, Jeremiah Hobbs, Brian Terry, Kyle Mays rounds out your field of 13 here tonight. Jason will give us an update momentarily of the points going into Phoenix in your final 4. So Adam Lancaster victorious here at Martinsville.
There we go. I was starting to talk to you, Steve, and I forgot my mute button was pushed. I do that a lot, don't I?
Yeah.
It's fine. I do that at the racetrack, too, and the guys in the press box are like, "You're not coming through." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Let me unmute myself first."
Well, we'll be right back with post-race interviews. All right, welcome back. Adam Lancaster victorious here tonight. And you know what? Alex Robinson caught up with your 3rd place finisher.
Well, Steve's throwing me a curveball. James Silver's coming home in that 3rd spot tonight, and Mr. Silver's, as we wait for everything, especially that fun stuff of who's going to make the final 4. How do you feel about your chances now locking in a podium finish here tonight?
Well, now we just have to roll on to Phoenix and try to do the best we can. And tonight's race was up and down for me. It was back and forth. I kept making mistakes, stupid mistakes when I shouldn't have done that. But I'd like to apologize to getting into Lancaster and also getting into Matt, because I know we were battling pretty hard right there, but I kind of did overshoot the corner. But I'm glad he held on to it. But overall, it was a pretty good race for the team and everything else, but I'm still kind of disappointed in myself to be making mistakes like that.
And now you talk about Phoenix, 200 laps is the distance there. And we all know how Phoenix is. It can burn your tires very quickly. Most of the guys that have made it into the final, or heck, even in the playoffs, they've played pit strategies. They try and save their equipment, or you see it bites them in the rear on the season. So what's the plan here? Are we going to go a little bit more conservative until the stage break to try and not burn off all 6 sets of tires very quickly?
Yeah, we're going to really try to conserve at Phoenix since it's a longer race. Try to save the motor a little bit. Try not to push it as much, but try to get a good feel for it in the first couple runs, and really try to be there right towards the end of the race. But other than that, though, it's all about the car control and keeping them tires under you.
Well, we know going into the final race of the season, there's guys backing that 33 machine to get to the point where you are this year. Take some time and thank them all here for all the support.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to thank y'all for putting on the broadcast. I'd like to thank Jason Collins for putting together such a great league. I'd like to shout out everybody in Waynesville, and let's see, I'd like to shout out all the sponsors that make everything happen at Cornerstone Motorsports. I'd like to shout out W Energy. If you use the code Cornerstone at WGG, you get 10% off of your whole purchase. Function Junction Smoke Shop, Mountain View Detailing, Area Professionals of WNC, Team Goon Squad, GG's Restaurant, Brent Keith at BK Paints, Rocky Boyd and Will Weber for making us some paints this year, and just everybody at Cornerstone and Weaponized this season. For us to be able to put together such a strong season to go into Phoenix and have a shot for a championship, it's going to be a good one. So hopefully we can bring it together.
That is your third place finisher tonight, the 33. Oh.
I'd like to shout out my girlfriend Shelby. I about forgot. I'd have got beat up right there.
Oh boy.
You know it. I'm sorry, baby. I love you.
There it is, the 33 machine of James Silver.
All right, coming home in the second spot tonight is Scott Fritz. Congratulations on that second place finish. You overcome a incident to finish in the top 2. Head into Phoenix. What is your goals?
Yeah, I kind of stepped on it there. But Dez, good run tonight. Congrats to Adam on the win. Came home second after winning last week, so carrying good momentum into Phoenix next week. Try and get some practice in and just go into Phoenix and get it done.
Get it done. I mean, that's the thing. In the Final Four, you are. So, I mean, what would it mean picking up a championship next week?
Well, I've been around since the beginning and have yet to get one done, so it'd mean everything. So can't thank Jason and all them enough for putting this on every season. So,
all right, go ahead. Thank those fine sponsors making it all possible for you.
Yeah, obviously Team CFM Esports, Majula Speed Shop, Sweet Victory Apparel, 1K Photography, High Performance Say, 605 Racing and Tire Solutions, 61 Media, my mom and dad, my fiance watching, and obviously Steve and Alex in the booth.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Fritz, and good luck next week.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Well, Alex, you caught up with our race winner.
Coming home with a win. That 17 machine, almost called him 77. 17 machine of Adam Lancaster. And, man, it's been a while since I got to talk to you in the booth here, but this time it's in victory lane, so got to feel good carrying some momentum into that final race of the year.
Yeah, well, I felt like we had to win tonight to get in, and we were able to pull that off. That was that's what we had to do. That was kind of the only shot after Scott won last week, and that kind of put us in a situation where we had to win tonight, and was able to pull it off. I tell you, we had great teammates, and with Scott and Matt were working with us there to try to do all they could and coach in. Made a few mistakes tonight. Had some other people make some mistakes that involved us and got some damage, and that really hurt the car. And I needed a clean car to compete with Radburn. Radburn was really fast tonight. Had to get off sequence there and stayed out for the track position. hoping for maybe a caution in 10 or 15 laps or a series of cautions to let the tires cool back down, just to try to pull something, because I knew I had to win. Second place wasn't probably going to cut it tonight.
Yeah, so now, again, Phoenix, 200 laps. We know how this racetrack can be. You know, it can wear down tires. It can wear down everything and anything on that car for 200 laps. What's the plan here? Are we going, are we going balls to the wall in this one, or are we going to take some time to feel out what everyone else is doing before we make some crucial decisions in that race?
Well, I feel like Phoenix, and we've as a league with Bluegrass have always run a full race for our season finale, and actually ran the Coke 600 one of our seasons on the Cup side. And I feel like that race, you have to be around at the end. There's no counting stage points or finishing position. You got to win that race to win the championship, and you can't win the race if you're not there at the end to be able to win it. So I think that race you have to approach a little bit differently and kind of fill things out, take care of your car, keep the fenders on it, and be aware to not to let somebody pull a strategy move or something that you can't do anything about. You just kind of put in a box there and somebody else grabs the championship that way. So there's going to be a lot going on, definitely, but I think for the first half of that race you just fill your car out and try to learn and see what you can do to manage your tires and still make speed and be around and be up front at the end so you can compete for the win.
Well, we know you got a lot of great sponsors backing that 17 machine, some great teammates for this season going into championship night. Take some time, thank them here for all their help this year.
Yeah, so obviously, my son Aiden is on the hood, rides with us every week now. So, I want to thank Aiden's Journey and Autism Awareness, Lancaster Transmissions, Kinder Performance Group, Rims One, Ghostface Brewing, Alex Huffman Designs, everybody that helps us out on this deal. We got great teammates within Elite Motorsports and some of the guys that are OGs to Bluegrass with Matt Grenier and Scott Fritz. Glad to see both of us able to go to Phoenix and compete for a championship together. That's nice considering kind of how the season's gone and some of the things that happened throughout the season. To have two of the OGs in there to go compete for a championship is good, and we'll go fight heads up for that. But Justin Winters, John Kinder, Alex Huffman, all of our normal elite guys, great teammates. Thank you guys for putting on a good broadcast and everything you guys do every week. And thank Jason for putting the league on.
Well, that is your winner, the 17 of Adam Lancaster.
Well, that's going to conclude our night of the broadcast here with the Bluegrass XFINITY Series. We'll be back tomorrow night with the Cup Series. Until then, make sure you tune in to the Bluegrass Facebook page. They'll post the Final Four going into Phoenix next week in the XFINITY Series. That's in the points. But until then, I'm Steve McMillan along with Alex Robinson. We're going to say good night and God bless.